What's the one thing that will make all the difference to you over the next 12 months? What's the one thing that will make a difference to your team and your organisation? And whether it's at work or in your home life, what's that one thing that can make all the difference and help you get from A to B? Well, I've called it Word of the Year. And for me, this year, it's all about consistency. So for everything I'm trying to do on a daily basis, weekly basis, and in every situation, I'm trying to be more consistent and achieve a base level of performance. So that's my one word of the year. And if you click around either on our website or on YouTube, you'll see a short tutorial all about word of the year. Now, in this Tuesday tutorial, I want to take that a bit further and talk about compound consistency. And this is one of our lessons that we cover on The Essential Scholar, which is our leadership development program. And what we're going to talk about are the benefits of compound consistency, what that means to you, how you can achieve it, and also how you can prevent going backwards, how you can prevent yourself from going backwards. So here's a simple diagram of how we can explain consistency. Now, the top line is what we think consistency means. We think it means achieving 100% or that 10 out of 10 in every situation. Now, that can be true in terms of manufacturing or world-class manufacturing, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to achieve a specification, whatever that specification looks like. So if you can imagine like a normal distribution with two goalposts, we're trying to narrow those goalposts the best we can. However, in reality, from a personal point of view, what it really means is this bottom line here. And that's about showing up and about doing your best in every situation. Because it's really hard to achieve 10 out of 10 every day. In manufacturing, you can automate it and you can design processes. But from a personal point of view, all that can be asked is to do your best. And that's what we'll go on to now. And we'll give you a few ways of how you can achieve your best and achieve that compound consistency. So 2 rules then, 2 ways we can actually achieve that. And the first rule of compound consistency is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. And this little diagram here is all about just showing up every day and doing your best. And what we're trying to do here is just chalk it off every day and always showing up, so you're not interrupting it. Now, the second rule of compound consistency is to ensure you don't have 2 consecutive days, asterisks. And what we mean by that is if you do have a bad day and you haven't achieved or you haven't performed, then just make sure you don't have 2 consecutive bad days or weeks or months. And that's what that asterisk is for. So in this instance, you're trying to do your best and you've achieved it 4, 5, 6, 7 days or 7 events on the trot, and then you've had a bad day. Now the key here is things happen, shift happens. What you're trying to do here is to make sure you don't have 2 bad consecutive days. So do everything you can to avoid that one bad day. If you do have a bad day, don't worry about it. Make sure you do everything you can to make sure you don't have 2 bad days. And that'll get you back on the path of compound consistency. So that's kind of 2 ways that can really help. And what it takes is a bit of daily discipline. What I'm going to take you through now is just a short example of what I mean by that. And I'm going to read from here because it will kind of really help. So in terms of daily discipline, it's tough, especially from the start. It's only going to work if it's achievable when you're at your worst. So that's a real key point there. In terms of consistency, think about when you're at your worst. What do you need to do to achieve that minimum level of performance? And that's what you need to be doing every day to kind of start with these kind of daily wins. So for instance, if you're trying to eat well, avoid a strict diet that's impossible to maintain. You've got to be realistic about this. So been there, it doesn't last, doesn't work. If you want to exercise every day, make it achievable. Don't attempt that daily marathon to begin with. Make it achievable. And instead, start with a daily mile. And that's something I've done myself from a fitness point of view. If I've been wanting to kind of do those marathons, It starts with getting off the sofa and doing whether it's a daily mile or a daily kilometre to begin with. But over time, and that consistency, that can then build. And if for any reason you have that bad day when you don't do your daily mile or your daily 2 miles, you do everything you can to make sure you do it the following day. So daily discipline is tough, but there is a way of getting through that. So discipline then, plus patience, and you've got to be in this for the long haul. You're not expecting instant results. So discipline plus patience equals that success. And that's what this compound consistency is all about. Now, we've got a book here, Discipline is Destiny. So a bit of a book recommendation by Ryan Holiday. And this one here, published at the back end of 2022. I bought it a year ago and read it last January. So read it at the end of last January. And it's a great kind of motivator. Lots of kind of stoicism in here. Lots of great kind of advice, top tips. Probably nothing you don't already know if you're watching this video. So it's more of a motivation to kind of get you focused on what you need to be doing from a daily point of view. And there's kind of loads of examples in there about people who have achieved discipline and achieved great success from that. So the benefits then, three key benefits here. When you're delivering this daily discipline and you've got this compound consistency, it's a great way of building a reputation. And whether it's for you, your team, or your organization, what you'll find is the most successful organizations, the most successful people are consistent in everything they do. So that's kind of benefit number one. Secondly, there, you'll outperform the market. If you're consistent in exactly what you're trying to achieve with you, your team, your organization, you'll become more profitable. You're more successful in what you're trying to achieve. You'll eliminate those waste. You're more consistent at eliminating waste and increasing profitability. And then the third way, the third benefit there is you're actually creating this culture that's committed to excellence. So you're very clear on what this kind of consistency is and what this baseline looks like, and you're getting everybody involved in that. And that's just a great way of kind of demonstrating what consistency is all about. You're trying to achieve excellence. Now, on the Essential Scholar, which is our leadership development program, there's 2 lessons that talk about consistency. Lesson 79, which is compound consistency, which we've touched on today. That's all about doing everything you can to show up and perform consistently. We've also then got a second lesson, lesson 61, which is all about those 2 consecutive days. And the difference here is you're doing everything you can to avoid back-to-back poor performance. So the compound consistency is all about leading with excellence and becoming that role model for others. You're demonstrating your true leadership. This bottom one here, the consecutive days, that's about avoiding setbacks and about building resilience. So 2 lessons, all about consistency. If you want to learn any more, then just click around on our website and just look at the Essential Scholar. So key points then. With consistency, it's all about showing up. It helps you build a reputation. You need to show up, even at your worst. It's about just doing the best you can. We call it keep tapping away. Be persistent, have that tenacity to keep showing up. Never interrupt it unnecessarily, and avoid those 2 consecutive poor days. And what you'll find is those small things, no matter how small or trivial, if you can keep on doing them consistently, done repeatedly, that will create that culture that's committed to excellence. So our final slide then, our action step, be consistent. What I'd like you to do is just think about where do you need to be more consistent in the year to come. So think about consistency, or think about where do you need to be more consistent this year. And by all means, kind of reach out, DM me, or leave comments in the kind of notes below. So thanks so much for tuning in. That's been your Tuesday tutorial. My name's Bob Buckley, and I look forward to seeing you next time.